Good evening, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for August 15, 2014, around 7:30 in Belleville, Massachusetts. Sun's going down. It was kind of a little bit of a chilly day, like 70 degrees on and off, clouds and sunshine, and it's supposed to be another perfect weekend. We might get some rain showers on Sunday morning, but that's about it. And some news to report. The Patriots play their first preseason game at Gillette Stadium tonight against Philadelphia Eagles. Game's around 7:30 right now. The game's going to be locally on WBZ in Boston, WMUR TV in Manchester, New Hampshire, WPRI TV 12 in Providence, Rhode Island, and a couple of other stations in New England. It's going to be on local television, Philadelphia, and also going to be nationally on the NFL Network. But usually the preseason games, you don't see Brady start the entire game. He might be in a quarter, and it's mainly the backup players and the second stringers to see if they're going to make the team. And that's about it for that news. My third and final video blog of the night is the mbta Green Line expansion from Leechmere Station in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and it's going to continue on through Somerville, Massachusetts, and to Medford, Massachusetts. There's going to be a line that's being constructed right now through the right-of-way of the Lowell commuter rail line. That one's going to go to Medford, and there's going to be another one that's going to branch off. It's got a smaller branch off. It's going to go to Union Square in Somerville, Massachusetts, via the right-of-way of the mbta Fitchburg commuter rail line. And when these projects are finished by the end of the decade, it's going to be a major boom to Somerville and Medford, because Somerville and Medford lack mbta subway service. Is only an mbta stop in Somerville for the Red Line and David Square, and there's a construction of a new Orange Line station that's going to open up in Assembly Square this fall. But this project for the Green Line is going to be a boom to Somerville. It's going to get a lot of, up to 80,000 new riders a day. Get a lot of those riders who take several of the buses, out of Leechmere Station, several of mbta buses, and they'll put them on the trains, and it'll be easier to go into Boston for. And this project's going to cost over $1.3 billion. This project, the Green Line extension, was actually on the drawing board 25 years ago, but they didn't really focus on it seriously until after all the stuff with the Big Dig project was finished. And by 2005, the planning started of the project for the Green Line. They had to tell a lot of the neighborhoods affected by this that we're going to talk about how it's good, the air pollution, the noise, the stuff like that, and also the benefits of it. They met with several community leaders and stuff like that, and they got the funding. And by 2008, they announced the plans of the stations. The stations are going to be Union Square in Somerville. That's the branch. That's going to be the extension of the D branch of the Green Line. And then the extension of the E branch of the Green Line will consist of Washington Street in Somerville, Gilman Square, Lowell Street, Ball Square, and College Avenue in Medford. That's going to follow the right-of-way of the Lowell mbta commuter rail line, and they're going to reconfigure that and probably put a separate track for that. And also there was plans for this project to continue on to Winthrop Street in Medford, and also ultimately it was going to go to Mystic Valley Parkway on Route 16 in Medford, but that plan was squashed and postponed indefinitely because of lack of funding and more problems with the neighborhood for that. And this continued and stuff like that. They got the funding, and they were going to do this in three phases. And the first phase, the construction started in 2012 with groundbreaking. They were starting to rebuild bridges, put a lot of sound barriers where the trains are going to go through the communities and stuff like that. And that's almost completed. Phase 2 and Phase 3 will be the construction of the MBTA, of the tracks for the MBTA going to Union Square, Somerville, through the right-of-way of the MBTA commuter rail Fitchburg line, and also the ones that were going to go on to at least Washington Street on the ones that were following the right-of-way of the Lowell line. And also this would be a new Leechmere station will be constructed. It's going to be relocated from the one that's currently on the terminus of the current Green Line. They're going to close that down and put an elevated one right across the street from there, and where there's going to be a new housing development and retail development. And that phase is going to be probably constructing probably later on this year and stuff like that. But that's going to be forcing the closure of the Green Line station from Cambridge, on Cambridge Street in Cambridge. And also they're going to have to close down Science Park on the Cambridge-Boston line in the West End, and that's going to cost maybe for at least 18 to 24 months shuttle bus services from Leechmere Station to North Station. And that's going to be a headache once again, because this will be the third time in 11 years that the Green Line's going to be all Green Line trains stop at North Station, and they have to take a shuttle bus, because they had to do it in 2004 when they had to tear down the elevated Green Line from on Causeway Street and North Station headed to Science Park. And they also had that lasted for about 18 months, and they had to close it down in 2011 for about 6 months, because they were rebuilding Science Park Station on the Green Line to make it more handicap accessible. So a lot of people, especially in Cambridge and Boston, are going to hate the shuttle buses again, but they have to do this project. And that project is supposed to be finished by 2017, and those Green Line trains will be running to those stations. And the third and final phase will be Phase 3, which will be starting in 2016 and lasting to at least 2019, 2020. They're going to do the work on the rest of the Green Line following the Lowell line. We'll finish the stations in Gilmore Square, Lowell Street, Ball Square, and College Avenue at Tufts University. When it's all said and done, this project is going to be a big boom to city of Somerville and Medford, because a lot of people probably will be buying the houses near there, especially the squares like Gilman Square and Ball Square. They're going to probably see a lot of business go up. Going to be millions of dollars. It's going to be a real boom to Somerville and Medford. So it's going to be a boom to Union Square and Somerville, because of the Green Line Green Line coming into those cities. And it's going to be amazing to see the Green Line expansion project. This has been over 20 years in the making for this project, and once it's fulfilled, it's going to be a real boom to Somerville and Medford. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to probably be, Somerville might be a mini Boston or something like that. Especially the squares. You're going to have more business. Maybe they could attract more big businesses there in those areas. It's a real boom. And, it's a real good that the MBTA is doing this, because, Somerville and Medford are like two big cities that on the MBTA thing I was lacking rapid transit line service, because of there's a population for it. But right now they have to take buses to go to the Orange Line or the Green Line, and sometimes these old buses are overfull, especially at rush hour, and you don't need overflowing buses on the MBTA. So This is going to be amazing. It's going to be a great project, and it's going to bring millions of dollars in revenue to businesses in Somerville. You'll see a lot of housing prices go way up in Somerville and Medford. Okay, that's about it. I'll be back tomorrow for at least 3 to 6 more video blogs. One of the subjects I'm going to talk about tomorrow is the 10 greatest players in Calgary Flames history. I'm wearing a Calgary Flames hat. Sunday's going to be the Hartford Whalers / Carolina Hurricanes top 10 players. Monday's going to be the top 10 players in North Stars and Stars history. And Tuesday will be the top 10 players in the Tampa Bay Lightning history. And then I'm going to be finishing up on the series with the remaining teams of the NHL who probably didn't win a Stanley Cup. Might be a little hard to get teams like the Atlanta Thrashers / Winnipeg Jets, Nashville Predators, Florida Panthers, and Columbus Blue Jackets 10 greatest players, but I'll come up with it. And maybe after the series is over with the 10 greatest players of all time with each NHL team, I might be doing it for the 10 greatest ball players in all 30 Major League Baseball teams, maybe all 32 NFL teams, and all 30 NBA teams. And we'll see about that. Plus, maybe I'll have top 10 list of other stuff. Maybe top 10 list of who has the nicest legs in the world, or who has the 10 greatest who goes to Boston of all time. It's going to be interesting. Well, I gotta go now, and I'm going to see you tomorrow, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. Good feedback, and I love positive feedback, and there'll be more surprises. And in about 13 more days, my 2014-2015 NFL preview blog. I'm going to pick who's going to win the Super Bowl this year. I'll be doing this for the NBA and the NHL season preview. Hey, good night, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. See you tomorrow.